3 months of the year without food of their own.
People in the community was suffering a lot.
We don't leave them to suffer.
10 years ago, the Millennium Village sites were selected to make investments in health and education, in agriculture, in environment.
How to go about sanitation, hand washing,
Mosquito nets, family planning.
Breaking the poverty trap. I'm Jeffrey Sachs. I'm director of the Millennium Village Project and director of the Earth Institute at Columbia University. My belief is that where we are, Mayanji Millennium Village in Rwanda, has achieved most or all of the Millennium Development Goals. It's been a spectacular and beautiful performance. These Millennium Villages are places that were in deep poverty 10 years ago. Indeed, the Millennium Village sites were selected because they were areas of extreme poverty. The health facility where we sit right now was a broken down, one-room, nearly useless facility in 2005. Now it's a full health complex for outpatient, for inpatient, for maternity, for clinical laboratory, for nutrition, and many other services that are being offered here. Under the Millennium Development Goals, the health sector was to address the really pressing challenges of communicable diseases like AIDS, TB, and malaria, childhood killers, vaccine-preventable diseases, nutrition-related diseases, and safe childbirth, safe pregnancy.
Child mortality graphs over the last 10 years, the under 5 mortality is decreasing because of immunizations, it's all decreasing. But if you look at the children and the newborn, it's not. It's the first day of the baby, and on the first day of the baby, it's actually the first minute. So it turns out if you can make the baby survive the first minute, you've made a huge difference in the child mortality. Suction of the nose, just suction, because they're born with mucus in the nose because they're bathing in the fluid. So just suctioning of the nose and then providing the first few breaths. Just room air, you don't need an oxygen thing. Just helping with the mask.
So the whole purpose of this project, while stated as 10 years to achieve the Millennium Development Goals, can also be thought about as breaking the poverty trap, to make investments in health and education, in agriculture, in environment, in water and sanitation, in connectivity, roads, power, so that the productivity is raised, the incomes are raised, households at the household level and the community together can save for the future and can begin to build new businesses, better facilities for social services, for schooling. The idea was to achieve universal coverage of primary education. When we visited the school, we heard about the estimated 98% completion rates, very high enrollment and very high completion of the first 6 years of school. I want to read just a little of the first story to us in a reading because it's called Nowhere Safe to Live, so we didn't know what that was about. With a lot of impatience and anger, Mrs. Cockroach stood up first. She went on to narrate how one night she nearly lost her antennas when she tried to open a dish on the table. On hearing this, Mrs. Bedbug screamed, "Why are humans so selfish? The other day they sprayed and killed my babies. Mr. Housefly comforted her for the loss of her babies and encouraged them to stand firm and have hope. He too shared his horrible experience of how he was locked in a pit latrine while he was enjoying his lunch. We have believed since the beginning that the villages could help demonstrate how to do things faster, better, more successfully, demonstrate to international donors and international organizations as well as to national governments. When the project started in 2005, one of the first measures, thanks to the partnership with Sumitomo Chemical Company, the manufacturer of one of the major bed nets in use to fight malaria, was the free mass distribution of anti-malaria bed nets in 2005 and 2006.
Today I'm visiting a club, a group of neighboring people who are advocating or promoting hygiene. They inspect the conditions at the household so that we prevent diseases. Oh, bravo! I'm impressed. They don't have like a good standard bed, but wherever they used to sleep in is covered with the net, mosquito net. So I'm impressed.
In this sense, the Village Project was conceived to be a local project with local leadership, local solutions, but also a national project that would show best practices and how to move forward, as well as an international project to give guidance and hope, demonstration, testing of how to achieve the Millennium Development Goals. 10 years on, and having visited at many steps, I see so many wonderful areas of progress, from health to education, community engagement, business development. But I also see that this is a fitting foundation for the next 15 years for the Sustainable Development Goals. I've been saying to my colleagues, we're going to have to run hard. It's another marathon, because it's been a marathon for the MDGs, but now it has to be a marathon for the SDGs, for the Sustainable Development Goals. So I would say to the cynics, drop your cynicism, all very sophisticated. Just go do something. Go do something useful. Demonstrate it, show the world a better way. That's a great contribution.